Chapter 8. Patrick's wife, Grace, was sitting in the living room, relaxing in an armchair, while softly reading a children's book to her pregnant belly. Nearby, a basset hound named Elway was sound asleep on the floor. "Grace!" Patrick came bounding into the room. "Hello," Grace said, calmly setting down the book. Patrick placed his boxes on the floor. "Guess what? Guess what? Guess what?" Okay. Grace thought about it, then teased. "They invented zero-calorie pizza?" "No, but that's a good idea." "One more try." "Yeah, they found, Grace put a hand on her belly. "Ooh, the baby kicked." Patrick forgot his news for a minute. This was bigger. They were having a baby. "Oh, hi." He kissed his wife. Grace took Patrick's hand and set it on her belly. Feel. Now, please say hello." Patrick leaned in, not quite sure what to do. "Hello, little sea monkey. This is the sound of my voice." Grace giggled. "Hello, son or daughter. Hello. Hello." Patrick continued. Grace shook her head. "That's not your voice. That's a robot. Our child is going to get attached to the toaster." Or, Patrick stood up, grinning gleefully. "The new VP of Marketing." Grace popped out of her chair. "Get out!" She hugged her husband. "Provisional," Patrick warned. "If I wow Cruella deal, I keep the job. If I don't, my head probably goes on the pike next to the last guy's." Grace was so happy. "And wow you will. You wowed me." "Wowed, wooed, wed," Patrick said. "Woomed," Grace added. "Nice," Patrick complimented. "But I have 2 days." He continued, going back to talking about the job. "Oh," Grace gasped. "Yikes." "I know. What if I can't get it done in time?" Grace suddenly realized what this meant. "Oh no. So you can't come to the ultrasound?" "I don't know," Patrick answered honestly. "Unless, wait, the backup ads we have did fine in focus groups. I can retool those. I'd have to work around the clock." As Patrick thought out his plan, Grace put on a brave smile to mask her disappointment. Later that night, Gargamel and Azrael were still in the now quiet Central Park, sitting under a streetlight.
"Ah, Azrael," Gargamel said with a moan. "We've come so far, yet ever am I haunted by the same familiar riddle. How to find the Smurfs? If only Azrael began to cough, arching his back and making severe gagging noises. Gargamel looked at the cat with disgust. "I'm sorry. Is my thinking interrupting your vile hacking?"
He turned away from Azrael.
"If only I had something of theirs. A drop of spittle, a fingernail."
Gargamel went on.
"Some hair. Even that would be enough to make some Smurf magic."
Azrael coughed harder. Finally, with a loud and nasty belch, he barfed up a hairball. Gargamel turned up his nose at the horrid smell.
"Very nice. Are you done now?" "Meow." "I don't want to look at it," Gargamel replied.
Azrael pushed the hairball across the cement with his small black nose.
"What? Blech! What?"
Finally, with a gasp, Gargamel caught on.
"Is that? No, it can't be."
He picked up the hairball and held it in the faint light of the street lamp.
"It is!" he cheered. "The tawny locks of Smurfette!"
Realizing what a gem he held, Gargamel stuck his nose into the tangled, gooey mess. He took a deep sniff and said,
"Oh, sweet follicular ambrosia! Oh, silky strands of joy!"
Then he couldn't help but gag.
"Mixed with a fair amount of cat vomit."
Azrael gave a proud meow.
Yes, Azrael, I am a genius.
Gargamel replied, shaking off some of the vomit from the hair. The gross puke hit Azrael in the eye. The cat rolled his watering eyes. Ignoring this, Gargamel began looking around the park, squinting to see farther into the dark.
With my skills, this small trifle of smurfiness will yield me just enough power to catch them all. I must find a laboratory in which to tease the magic from these precious strands.
Finally, Gargamel spotted a portable potty nearby.
Oh, it's a bit small, but this should do nicely.
Gargamel and Azrael entered the potty.
Oh, look, it's even got its own cauldron.
That was when Gargamel took his first breath.
Ugh, what died in this cauldron?
He cried out. The stink was unbearable.
Open! Open!
Gargamel tugged wildly at the door handle. When the potty door finally opened, Gargamel and Azrael stumbled out, gasping for fresh air.
Whoa! Someone's been working a dark and terrible magic in there,
he said with a shiver. Off in the distance, some outdoor lights popped on, illuminating a large gray stone castle.
Ooh, what is that?
Gargamel hurried towards the lights of Central Park's historic Belvedere Castle and entered through the cellar doors. There he discovered a moldy, cluttered storage area in the basement. He raised his hands in pure joy.
Oh, baby, Daddy's home.